Hello, it's Rolando, your credit coach, and welcome to Ask Credit Coach, episode number 17. On this week's episode, I want to talk about what factors make up a credit score. You see, I'm always asked, Rolando, how do I get a good credit score? How can I obtain a 700 or even a 720, which seems to be the ideal credit score? And my answer is, the better you understand what factors make up a credit score, the easier it is for you to obtain and maintain a great credit score. So there are 5 factors that make up a credit score. The first factor accumulates 35% of your credit score, and that is your payment history. How well you make your payments. The longer the on-time payment history, the better your credit scores. Keep in mind, a missed payment within the last 30 days can severely affect your credit score by more than 100 points. So keep this in mind. Making your payments on time is a sure way to have a high credit score. Factor number 2, which accumulates 30% of your credit score, which is your balance ratios. The cardinal rule is to keep your balances to credit limit under 35% ratio. Now, anything above 35% will begin to affect your credit score. Anything closest to 100%, meaning they're almost maxed out, will severely affect the credit score. I had a client come in once with a 579 FICO score, no collections, no late payments, but he had 5 credit cards maxed out. I told the client, go pay them off, bring them down. He did it within 30 days. His score shot up to over 700. So yes, keeping your credit cards balances high does affect the credit score. More so, keeping a balance over the credit limit, that's going to adversely affect the credit score. So just keep them low, keep them as close as you can to 35%. Factor number 3, which accumulates 15% of your credit score, which is your credit history length. The older the credit history, the higher your FICO scores. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you already have established credit, you do not want to open any new credit lines unless you really have to, unless you're buying a home, maybe getting a new car. But just for the sake of getting credit, don't do that, because the moment you open new credit, the average of your credit history begins to drop as you open new accounts. So only open accounts if you need them. The longer the credit history, the better. Factor number 4, which accumulates 10% of your credit score, is the types of accounts that you have reporting. There are 2 types of accounts. There are revolving accounts, which are credit cards, and there are installments, which can be a home loan, student loan, or car loan. You have to have a combination of both, but there really isn't a ratio as to what you should have. Just know that you can have a little bit of both. That's going to help your credit score. I've seen credit scores with only revolving. They have a weaker credit score. And I've seen credit reports with only installments with no revolving. Those tend to have an even much weaker credit score. So make sure both ensure that you're going to have a great credit score. And the last factor, which accumulates to 10% of your credit score, which is new credit inquiries. Now, there's a difference between soft inquiries and hard inquiries, which I talked about in my previous videos. You can run your credit report yourself multiple times and it will not affect your credit score. If someone runs your credit report for a loan approval, that's going to affect the credit score. The cardinal rule to have is 3 per year. Just know that the more you run your credit report, the more it's going to affect the credit score. So, in essence, only run your credit report whenever you need it, whenever you're applying for something that you really need. You can check your credit report multiple times yourself, and it's not going to affect the credit score. So there you have it. The 5 factors are 35% of your score is your payment history, 30% of your score is your balance ratios, 15% is your length of credit history, 10% is types of credit, and the single last one is 10%, which is new credit inquiries. All of those accumulate to 100%. Those are the 5 factors that make up your credit score. Understanding how those work, understanding how to use them, is going to ensure that you have a great credit score. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I know that this subject goes more into detail, but I do not want to make these videos long. If you have any questions, please email me at info@ihavecreditquestion.com, and please help me spread the message to everyone. Please feel free to share this with your community, with your friends, with anyone that you believe can benefit from this information. Again, thank you very much for watching. I'm Rolando, your credit coach, and keep in mind that credit is earned, not given. See you guys next week.